Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Advice. I am LaShonda Brown, and I teach busy business owners on a budget how to work less and live more by leveraging technology. This week, I went over the top, and we have two live streams. Typically, I will go live Monday at 10, but I had a really special person that I wanted you all to meet, so I decided to mix things up and bring on a guest on Wednesday. I also talked about this in my YouTube shorts, but I'm calling June the month of creative chaos. And I am simply letting the Lord lead me and making whatever I want because during the summer, your engagement, no matter what social media platform you're on, is going to decrease. So, this is actually the perfect time for you to experiment with new styles of content, to talk about things that you have been wanting to talk about that don't quite fit into your content pillars. And so I think this is a great time to introduce you all to not just some people that I know from the internet, but people that have trusted me to help them with YouTube, which is a new development. So, as you can see below my face, I have a little reminder that the deadline for applying for YouTube coaching is June 11th. Essentially, I will be walking through three different sessions with you. We're going to start with YouTube strategy, then we'll talk about YouTube SEO and passive income strategies, and end with brand partnerships and potentially UGC if that's something that you're interested in. And so ultimately, I beta tested this with Cody, who was on my live stream on Monday. So if you missed that, make sure that you look for it on the channel. And I think that this process is going to help a lot of you to utilize YouTube, not in the sense of becoming a vlogger. I do not want you thinking that you have to bring a camera around and follow yourself in every single move that you make. I want you to use YouTube to get paid to market your business, to get paid to market your products or your services, and also to generate leads so that you can actually make money while you sleep. This is something that I actively do every single day. And now I feel like I have enough bandwidth to start working with other people and helping them do the same thing. I posted about this on Instagram, but I'm starting to be more honest about where I'm at as a YouTuber because I realize by not sharing the milestones or sort of the things that I'm doing from a financial standpoint, you guys aren't really connecting the dots like I want you to. So the reality is, my channel has less than 25,000 subscribers. And I'll be honest with you, for some companies, when they look at my channel and they see that I only get a couple hundred views on a video, or they see that I don't have, 6-digit subscribers, they don't think they're going to get a return on their investment if they do a brand deal or a partnership with me. However, the numbers don't lie. I only work 20 hours a week, Monday through Thursday. And with this channel being as small as it is, I still had a 5-figure month in May. And so the reality is, the vanity metrics on my channel only tell you part of the story. The reason why I am making a full-time income as a YouTuber is because I was a business owner first. I understand marketing strategy and I understand systems. So when I talk about, generating passive income with YouTube, that's the perspective that I'm coming from. I'm not saying grow your YouTube channel to make all this money from AdSense. My clients are not going to be the people that are generating all this money from Google ads or, ads on their content. What they are doing is simply creating a passive income engine using YouTube as the top of it to say, okay, here is a way that I can make sure that I'm found on the second largest search engine in the world that's also owned by Google. When my videos rank on YouTube, they also rank on the front page of Google. And that is how I'm going to grow my business. That is how you can work less and live more, because you're not spending all of this effort creating marketing content because YouTube is constantly marketing for you. So a lot of you think that you're not a good fit for YouTube, or you're overwhelmed by the possibility of having to create all this content or do all this work. And I'll be honest with you, it's probably a lot easier than you realize. So if you go to shoplashandabrown.com, you can download my free 16-page YouTube passive income guide. That's going to walk through things like, what do you do if you're camera shy? Or what type of content should you be making? That's going to help answer some of those initial questions that you might have. And if you want to literally work with me one-on-one, that is when you would apply for coaching. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people are also too early for my one-on-one coaching. So I am developing a group coaching option. And so that is going to be offered to some of you guys as well. So I can work with more brands and we can really focus on people who have never been on YouTube or have a smaller audience. So that's basically some housekeeping and kind of giving you guys the perspective as to why I'm talking more about the strategy behind YouTube. I'm not necessarily trying to change the topic of this channel. You're not going to see a ton of videos about making money with YouTube, but because it's my life and I like to show you guys the behind the scenes of what I'm doing, from time to time, it will be a topic of discussion. So there you go. There's your general housekeeping. I see we've got some comments here. And so I definitely want you guys to, if you have questions either about coaching, about just the behind the scenes, go ahead and ask me because I'm not going to push this out anywhere else but YouTube. Monday was for LinkedIn and YouTube. It was sponsored. It was way more formal. This is going to be way more chill, more of a community stream for you guys to interact with us. So make sure that you do that. But before I bring up my guest, I have to be her hype woman, as I love to do, and tell you guys, if you have littles or if you have nieces, I'm telling you, this book is so beautiful and it's written by our guest. So make sure I'm going to put her link in the chat that you guys go and support her because this is her very first book. And without further ado, I am going to let our speaker, my guest, I'm not going to like make you do everything. I'll let my guest introduce herself to the group.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gina Holiday. So a little about me, I am a full-time illustrator, a first-time author, and I'm from Minnesota, the Minneapolis area. I run an online business called Spoonful of Faith. It's an illustration and design business. And in that, I do some publishing. I also do illustration projects. And lastly, I have an e-commerce shop. So I sell product with art and illustration on it. And I have some retail partnerships, products sold in retail stores across the country, like Target, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Joann's and Michael's. So I love to put illustration and I love product. And so that's a little bit about me.
You will not talk about yourself long. I know that for a fact. But I'm grateful for what you did do. So I really am curious because y'all, I am infamous for sliding in people's DMs unsolicited. I just be watching people. I have things to say. I want to cheer them on. And so I know from time to time I have slid into your DMs, but what made you decide to move forward with coaching with me?
Yeah, so I think I watched you. I watched the stuff that you would share. I also watched how you started sharing your journey of growing YouTube and like working with Canva and working and how you showed up and educating others. And I would get like tips from you, like from things you would share, things I wasn't even thinking I needed advice on. I would see posts from you and be like, "Oh, that's really good. I need to save that." And like you said, you came in my DMs a few times and would give me ideas to use. And that when we chatted, like this one last time we chatted, I was telling you how I really needed help in like certain areas with YouTube, things that I had been kind of sitting back on. And you were like, "Girl, I do that. Like, I can totally help you." And I'm like, "You do?" Like, you've been giving me all these tips. Like, so I trusted that I could take a chance on you because I had seen you doing the work yourself and sharing it and also giving all of this amazing advice freely to others. And so, yeah.
Well, I know you had a wish list when we first when we first met, and I was like, "Girl, you ain't fitting to do all that." But
Yeah.
you had dreams, you had
Yeah.
aspirations.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what was on the wish list of how you wanted to use YouTube to help grow your business.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was like, I don't know what you can help with, but here it is. These are all the areas that I have thought about doing, sitting on doing. And so I wanted some help with affiliate, setting up some types of affiliate program for my website and my shop to kind of get others to share about it. Another area that I have been asked to do and that I wanted to do was online teaching and online courses with illustration and business advice. Um, then also, I was thinking of passive income. How can I, share things that people can purchase and I can do this thing one time and they can keep purchasing it. And then just knowing that I hadn't actually even posted or done anything with my YouTube channel for over a year. It's an area where I would run out of ideas for content creation and not sure how I restart this thing. Um, and then, with all of that, it's really monetizing my content, getting to a place where I'm working less and things are flowing and bringing in income for my business.
So I gave you some homework. I gave you a lot of homework actually, but one of the things I asked you to do was to leverage your existing audience to boost your subscribers. Because at the end of the day, once we started talking, I realized that you weren't new to YouTube. You just hadn't been posting in a hot minute. And so that's technically what this live stream is about is you can revive an old channel. If you have a channel that, you had dreams and aspirations for, you posted a few times and then life just started lifing and you didn't post anymore. You can go back, but you have to have an intentional strategy to reinvigorate and revive that channel because you got to tell YouTube like, no, seriously, I am gonna like do some stuff now. So we came up with a plan. I had no idea what it was going to look like, but we came up with the strategy behind it. And I got a little taste of what it was like to see it happen. But take us through the process of from strategy to actually posting on Instagram.
Sure. So, Lashonda on our call, she like sat down with me. I was like, okay, here's some homework. She like laid out, you should do a post with a what is it called? Carousel post that is telling your audience that you're trying YouTube again. And we're gonna do, I think we did 4 slides. Each slide was going to give them steps of how they can support me and me sharing and restarting my YouTube channel. And so at the end, there was like a call to action for them to subscribe, um, sign up for my notifications, and also a giveaway for whoever commented on my YouTube videos. Any of the YouTube videos that I had previously would be entered into a drawing for a giveaway from my online shop. And so I took the information and I was like really scared, honestly, because I don't really post things that tell people, oh, like you should support me. I'm for some reason, it's easy for me to share product or share different items, but when it comes to like my YouTube channel, it's an area where I was kind of scared to share. So I sat on it for a little, like a week or so, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to um, like share this, like how she said, well, you need to make a cover image that says you're taking a chance on YouTube, and here's why. And she was like, do it in your own style. Like when I started to think about, okay, how can I do this in a way that feels authentic to me and my voice and the way that I share, that would also resonate and connect with my with those that follow me. And so I was like, okay, I make hand lettering and illustrations, so it needs to be something like that. But I do these images sometimes where I take a cup and then I draw the flowers that are like sitting in this cup. And so I was like, let me use that idea and like um, do a saying or a phrase that is encouraging. And so I did. Sometimes you need to do it afraid, because the idea of the post was do it afraid, comment fearless, and I will give you my information to sign up for my channel. And if you comment on the video, you'll get entered to the giveaway. And so I shared that post, and then I took a couple of other images because I was thinking, oh, I got to make new content, right? But I started being like, no, like this is what's holding you back, is that sometimes I sit there and I think I have to make all this new stuff, and instead I made this one image and used pictures that were already in my um, photo album, and then just put the different words on it for each slide. And at the end of the carousel, I shared the process video of me drawing, the flowers. And as soon as I posted it, I just started getting all of these comments around fearless, fearless, fearless. All these people just wanting to support me, people sharing with me like um, times where they've had to do things afraid, people just encouraging me. And so it was really, I mean, it just happened yesterday. So it's still like this really exciting and like cool process to see that um the things that LaShonda was explaining to me and sharing with me really helped. It was really just a push, like the push of her saying, okay, do these things, do it in your own way. And that push that like you can do it if you get it, get it done by hit this time, or that was what was so helpful for me to get it done. So so yeah, and then there was another part that Lashana told me I needed to. She gave me some ideas on different texts that were going to help me. So like one app that we use was called ManyChat, and that helps to like give an automated comment back to. So when people would comment fearless, um, that would immediately send them a link to my YouTube channel, which is something I didn't have. I didn't even know. I mean, I know people did this, but I didn't know what app to use. I didn't know anything about that. And so that made it easy. So then when I posted it, there was something automatically responding to every comment. And I could go back in and like specifically talk to certain people that left more detailed messages and thoughts and things. And so it's just been a really cool process to see unfold in front of me. And so I'm just super grateful for that push from you, LaShonda, honestly.
Thank you, friend. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't tell the people that y'all know I got a link.
Right.
So if you guys want to try ManyChat, you can try it for free by going to lashondabrown.com/ManyChat. They are one of my partners. And I actually did a workshop called Bootstrap Bot, where I talked to you through the strategy of how I use ManyChat. So there's so many different applications. You don't just have to be a product-based business to do that. But it's another way that you can leverage technology to help you live the life you want to live, right? Because ultimately, you have children, right? You
Yeah.
cannot be on Instagram and every comment for the sake of engagement, you're like, thanks so much, love it,
Mhm.
you're the best. And so I was like, girl, you don't need to be doing that. Like, there's an app for that. And she's like, shut up. I'm like, just watch. And so that's the type of stuff that I love to do with my YouTube coaching is I love to show you guys tools that are available to help you to be great, because ultimately I know we're all busy. Even if people don't say it out of their mouth, there is so much going on. And so if we can, within reason, leverage technology to do stuff automatically that in the past we had to do manually, like let's go for it. And I told you, I'm like, I am not the like AI queen. I'm not out here saying, let somebody else write for you and draw for you. And no, but there are tools that can automate things. And so we're looking into automation of processes versus replacing your humanity with a robot. Like we're
Right.
not trying to do all that. So I loved watching it work. I had no chill. I'm just like, look at her go. Look at those comments go. Like, it is just, for certain things, the payoff is not immediate, but
Yeah.
that was right away.
Yeah.
And that just made me feel like, yes, we called it right and people are responding. So I'm really excited that actually worked out.
Yeah, me too.
I want people to know that, again, the channel is up, and if they comment on one of your old videos, they can enter that giveaway. And what are you giving away again?
Yeah, so I'm giving away $100 to my Spoonful of Paste shop, and we'll be announcing that on Juneteenth. So you have some time.
Okay, perfect. Now I am going to screen share your channel, and I want you to talk through, like, we talked about your content pillars for the channel,
Mhm.
and I think the content that you already had on there is still going to be relevant, but we have some ideas for things that you're going to be creating moving forward. So
Mhm.
let's let people know, if they do subscribe to your channel, not just for the giveaway,
Right.
but because they want to watch your stuff. And y'all, please, please watch the content if you subscribe. Like,
Right.
don't just be clicking and ghosting. Okay, we need engagement. We're trying to get
Right.
that watch time up. So what can people expect to see on the channel moving forward?
Yeah, so the content pillars we talked about were tutorials where I can demonstrate something that I'm making and possibly some a digital product or something that I can sell or share for my shop. We talked about sharing more behind the scenes of me creating product, um, and kind of sharing that process with also linking and sharing where they can find that product if they want to buy it, or you kind of get to see how it comes to life. Another thing that a lot of people ask me questions about, because I've worked with other authors and because I have my own children's book, are just FAQs around being an author and then illustrating books and that whole world, because it's kind of a mysterious world if you've never worked in it. So we talked about doing some videos around that drives traffic to my book, and eventually, potentially a course that I can share more about that with. And then also any partnerships with brands, as an artist and sharing my art that way. And then one area that I told LaShonda, I was like, I really want to do this, but maybe we can figure out how to fit it in, is we just bought a new house last year and I really want to start sharing ways that I incorporate art and creativity in my home. And so these would be more of videos. We called it Getting Artsy at Home, where I'm able to um, share affiliate links, things that I'm using, and shopping lists and that kind of thing for a different portion of my audience that's more interested in making and creating things there, for their home as well. So that's what you can expect to come up.
So there was a really good question from Nina that I want to just take a minute and, like, teach a little master class, okay? Because I have heard this term so many different places, and so many people mean something different when they say content pillars. So in regards to YouTube, here is how I think of content pillars. First and foremost, pillars are something that help hold things up. Okay, it provides structure. So if you think about, Roman architecture, you have those pillars that are holding that, building up. So ultimately, you have specific types of content that people can expect to see over and over and over again, that are going to provide structure to your YouTube channel. Now, the way that I approach it is, it's not just content that you create for your channel, it's set up in such a way that you can easily binge that content, right? So your content pillars, what people can expect from you, should also be your playlist. Okay. So if you say people should expect to see tips, tutorials, biz advice, and live streams, that also should be reflected in how you set your channel up so that people can binge your content. So many people get caught up in subscribers on YouTube that they miss the mark, because what YouTube wants is engagement. If the same 20 people watch all of your content, that's better than 20,000 people that never come back. Okay. They make their money through watch time, through people staying on the app. So if you structure your content pillars in such a way that you know you can post videos on a regular basis to add to those playlists, to give those people something to consume, they're going to keep coming back. And then in the way that you structure your content, you could say, hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out X. And because you have structure to your channel, someone who comes in for a specific type of content will more than likely be interested in other things you have to say. So if I'm talking about Flowdesk in a video, at the end of the video, I'm going to say, if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you check out my Flowdesk playlist for more tips and tutorials. That's what you need to do. A lot of people treat their YouTube content like an island. And what you're trying to do is create a library. That is how you make money on YouTube. Okay. Your content can't be, I'm vlogging one day, I'm doing a tutorial one day, we're doing a haul one day. Like, no. We need some consistency. What you're doing is creating a literal channel. Someone who's interested in ESPN is not interested in HGTV. Like, you have to be able to say at a glance, this is the channel for you because you're interested in X. Everybody wins. The viewer wins, the creator wins, and YouTube wins when you have clarity. Lack of clarity means nobody's watching. And that's what a lot of you are doing on YouTube, which is why you're not seeing your channel take off. Channel taking off doesn't necessarily mean subscribers. It means conversions, right? When your videos are structured in such a way where conversion and strategy is the foremost thing in your mind, then you're just using YouTube to get those customers or potential customers and driving them where you want them to go. This is how I make so much money promoting products that I didn't even make, promoting services that I don't even own, because my content converts. Someone watching a Flowdesk tutorial is very likely to click on my Flowdesk link if they want to become a customer. Flowdesk pays me a commission for all the customers I send them. Easy. So you can do that with Flowdesk. You can do that with Canva. You can do that with Amazon. Anything sold on Amazon could now be your product. If you drive traffic through Amazon Associates to Amazon, not only do you get a commission off of people purchasing that product, but anything else they put in their cart in that transaction, you get a percentage of that. So if they go in for a lipstick and they put their kids' clothes and their books and their husband's toothpaste and deodorant or whatever else you're buying, you get a commission from that because that's how affiliate marketing works. And so I'm a huge advocate for affiliate marketing and using YouTube to promote your products and services so you're not so caught up in how many views that my content get. Okay. The only reason why you would ever be so focused and fixated on views is if you don't have a strategy outside of AdSense. And to me, that's the path to the least amount of money, because every single creator that I know on this platform makes more money doing other things other than YouTube. Even if it is, I'm using YouTube to promote somebody else's products, they're still making more money than the check that we get from Google. So that's the reality of the situation. So I know I gave you like a little mini class, but this is why it's so important, if you don't think in this way, for you to align yourself with someone who does, because you're genuinely wasting time by creating content that doesn't convert. Your YouTube content will live for months and months after you post it. The reason why we're reviving her old channel is because the content is still relevant. It wasn't time sensitive content. And so you want to create content in such a way that if someone stumbles across it a year from now, it is still relevant. Now, within reason, because tech changes, but that is the philosophy for YouTube versus Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, if people are still doing Facebook. So that is why I advocate for the platform so much, because it has so little to do with the social side and so much to do with the strategy. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a tech company. Okay. Before they're trying to connect people and have them making friends, They're a tech company. This is a tool. So it's important that you understand how to use it as a tool and understand the tools available to help you perform higher. And that's the kind of stuff that we talk about. I know I get super serious when I talk about strategy because, like, the magnitude of this is what changed my life. When I tell you, I was working anywhere from 50 to 70 hours a week. At one point during the pandemic, I was working 5 jobs. I looked around and I was like, I literally can't even tell if my images are in focus anymore because I'm so tired. This is not it. There has to be a better way. And so I took an entire year to see if I could actually replace my income just doing YouTube as my primary job. And then I realized I'm like, there are not strategists out here talking about the stuff that I'm talking about. They're not telling them the truth about how we're making money. They're not showing them literal proposals that I've sent to tech companies that got me, 4 and 5 figure contracts. Like, they're not, and maybe they don't have that experience. I'll be honest with you. I have a background in government contracting. Like, your average YouTube coach is not going to know how to get your video in a national park. But I owned businesses before YouTube became my business. And I think that is something that sets me apart. And I have got to do a better job at differentiating myself because it is something that's very unique to me and it's valuable to you guys. And if you watch my channel, I am so open, y'all. I am too transparent. Half the time my mom is like, you said what? To who? Where? Because she's like, girl, keep some stuff between you and the Lord. But I love helping people and telling the truth. And so it's just so important that when you find people that are not just knowledgeable, but in alignment with your values, that you invest in them because otherwise they go and get jobs. I do not want to be someone's employee at this point. I want to make this work because I know that I can help so many people and I can scale my impact by using YouTube to get those messages out there and using social media to make it more accessible. And so that's why I do what I do. And I talked about this last night on Instagram. I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I understand that people hire me because of how I do what I do, not just what I do. There are plenty of people who call themselves YouTube coaches, but you can ask anybody who works with me. Heck, people who don't even work with me. I just be rooting for people and there's literally no financial gain in it for me. I just genuinely want to see more small businesses win because I know how hard it is. I know how discouraging it is. So that's my background. My background is I've owned multiple businesses. I've never had a job working for anybody else. So that's part of how I'm so fearless because I have nothing to compare it to. And after 10 plus years of grinding and working with hundreds of clients in the federal government and state governments and all this stuff, I'm like, can I just teach? Can I just consult? I don't have to do all the things. I can teach people how to do it. And taking that chance and taking that risk has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Like, all of those years of like grinding, hustling have prepared me to be able to relate to the struggle. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to like clutch your pearls every time you file your taxes. Like, I get it. I know a better way. And I'm working 20 hours a week now because I worked 60 hours a week in the past. So I just want you to know the truth about the journey. It took some time, but I'm here now and I'm ready to help you guys in any way that I can. And so it's really important to me that even if you can't afford my services, watch my content. Don't skip the ads. Just let them play. Just grab a drink, just let it happen to you. Buy me a coffee, $5 on buy me a coffee, because every little bit helps. It truly does. And it allows me to be so recklessly generous with this content because I know I'm good. And so that's the part that you play in all of this. Even if you never become a customer of mine, just know that you're allowing me to focus my full-time effort on making this content more available to more people. So I just want to put that out there because I do a very bad job of saying that. And it's time for me to be honest. So, here we go. So I'm going to bring my dear friend back up to land this plane. If you guys have any questions for us, let us know in the comments before we head out. But I think now that you've gone through one session, like obviously I said how I feel, but how do you feel? Tell the people, how was it, going through that first session? And would you recommend YouTube coaching with me to somebody else? Be honest. Don't hold back.
Yeah, so
Hopefully you enjoyed it, but be honest and let people know what to expect.
yeah, I did enjoy it. I think like we were only like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes into the conversation when I was like, oh wow, like there were so many things that my mind didn't wasn't thinking about that you already had like thoughts and strategy about. And so you were just really knowledgeable. Like it in a way where you know how some people like will have experience in something, but they may not have taken the time to understand how to educate someone else in it, right? Like I've been an illustrator for 10 years. And when it comes to teaching, I have to really sit down and think about like, okay, how did it feel when I started this? What do I need to get started? And I think you do a really, really great job of breaking things down and making it um, like actionable and like breaking it down to a point where it feels easy again. Like I think it felt hard and we were only 15, 20 minutes into the call where I was like, she's really good. I was like, okay, okay, I think like this is gonna work. And so um yeah, just that phone call just convinced me. I mean, like I said, not even the full hour. And then once I put, that first test of the strategy to work, it started working. And so I would 100% like recommend, some people applying to work with you. I think that if you're honest in a way that like if you know you can help them with something, you're going to give it to them, and if not, you might refer them or give them the tools they need to find it elsewhere. So I think that's not always easy to find, and you're not going to just let someone in as a coaching client that you don't think is a good fit. And I think that is admirable. So I would 100% recommend.
Thank you, friend. Now
Mhm.
people got questions for you, so you about to be in the hot seat,
I
girl.
know. I see
So
this.
I'm gonna put it up on screen, and you should be able to see the questions. So
I
I'll
do.
just pop them up, and then I'll just let you answer them. But yeah, girl, take it away. So this is
Okay.
our first question.
Yeah. So the first question, Gina, why did the revamp matter to you so much? Um, I think it mattered a lot because I had wanted to start a YouTube channel for probably like 3 years. And I think it was 2020 or 2021. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. But I had no idea like what to create, how to do it. Um, I'd watched many videos from many people, but I felt like it just kept me in this place of like, I still don't know what to do as an artist. I still don't know who I can trust to tell me which way to go. And it had, when I had posted, different videos, I had seen people really interested, lots of people leaving comments saying they wanted more, but I wasn't sure how to give them more. I was probably really sitting in my head for a long time. And so I kept feeling like you need to do something with this. You can't just leave this here. And sharing, being 10 years into illustration, sharing my experience is really important to me, and not being like a gatekeeper of information. Just as a Black artist and a Black illustrator, it's like I want to be able to help others from my own experience. And so YouTube felt like a great way that I can show up in a different way through video, to share. And it had just been sitting dormant. So that was kind of my push to like, we got to do something here. Oh, the second question um, that is here says, what do you want? I'm sorry. And what do you want to come of your coaching with LaShonda? I'm so curious about Gina's vision and why she wants to use her channel to serve her people. So um, I think working with LaShonda immediately changed my idea of what I thought about YouTube, because like she was just explaining, I think initially I was thinking, well, I need more people, like more subscribers, more people to watch. And maybe this could become something that is monetized that can help be another income stream for my business. But as I started to like really listen to her and the strategy around creating YouTube and why it was important, I started seeing how I could use it for more freedom. And I don't think I was thinking of it that way initially, but that is ultimately where I'm at in my career, where I need time freedom. I need to be able to work smarter, not harder. I need to be able to show up well in places and then be able to reap the benefits of doing things well and not having to work these ridiculous hours. And I have a 7 and a 9-year old, and they're growing up so fast, and so it's like I want to be more present in my life and also enjoy my life and love the work that I do. And so I think just having that initial conversation with her and talking through that really helped me to see that that's really what I'm searching for is freedom to create, to share, to be me and not be stuck in my head. Then also the freedom that doing it with strategy in the right way is going to allow me to open up to more possibilities, but then open up to be more present and mindful in my life. So, yeah.
Good answer. But I mean, that's the thing is like you really are the perfect fit to do coaching with me because of that perspective, right? It's this
Mhm.
idea of I have value to share, but if this can also help me to sell what I
Mhm.
do so I don't have to spend so much time doing that, everyone wins.
Right,
Right?
right. We all would.
And so I think that is just such a beautiful vision, and I definitely think it's possible. And I encourage people to go and click on the link in the description if you guys are watching this. Even if you watch it after the giveaway, you can always subscribe. You just might
Yes.
not be entered to win. So go ahead if you guys are watching this video and you have not already, support the channel, subscribe to it, follow her journey, see her implement the strategy in real time. But then also, like, your content is just, when I tell you, we talked about it on Instagram the first time we like had like a public conversation.
Mhm.
But your art is just so joyful and so authentic to what the Black experience actually looks like that I I can't wait to watch you blow up. Like, you're gonna have more opportunities by leveraging YouTube because more brands are going to find you. And I can't wait. I mean, just going into like Joanne's, like I remember like when you posted on Instagram, I went looking, girl. I'm like, okay, where's she at? Where's she at? Okay, okay. I'm in stationary. I'm like, all right, she's and I can't tell you what it is like to know someone who created something on a shelf. I
Mhm.
mean, girl, I grew up in Dinwiddie County where people rode horses for fun. And so them kind of dreams were not part of
Yeah.
my childhood. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I know there are some people from my high school who I went to a performing arts high school and we had to audition to get in. And so these were all super gifted and talented children. And so a lot of people I went to high school with have gone off to do like obscenely incredible things. But even still, um, knowing people who are just doing the thing, like you wrote a book. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I
Like
know.
you're not just doodling for Instagram, like you wrote a book. And I just think like how many people, like, we're living in an age right now where we're watching little girls be inspired by Halle Bailey and Little Mermaid, and we're seeing more Black women like doing it, right? Doing the things that we just didn't even know we could like dream about. Like,
Yep.
who would have ever? I'm like watching Little Mermaid as a kid, I would have never, a girl with
Mm.
dreads.
Mhm. I know, right,
What?
right.
Because I, even when they cast her, because her voice is stunning, I thought surely they're going to put her in a wig.
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
I saw her hairstyle, being utilized for that movie, I just thought, oh my gosh, like things are changing. Like I'm
Yeah.
watching, I remember as a kid when everyone was like, who's your favorite Disney princess? And all I had was Nala. And I'm like, she a lion cub. She an animal. That doesn't
Right. I gotta
count.
have an
You
animal.
know?
Right.
When Princess and the Frog came out, I was just like, here's like I could dress up as her for Halloween. I know that's so dumb, but it's like I could do that. Like there is a
Mhm.
Disney princess that I could be now, And so
Mhm.
I think more people seeing Black illustrators. It's like I remember growing up, people saying, like, most people are starving artists, right? You can't make
Right.
money doing that. And so it's like, no, like you're supporting a family, you're a mother, you're a creator, like you're showing people that all these things are possible. And so I think this YouTube channel is going to allow you to let people in a way that Instagram it's not giving that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The culture there is so performative
Mhm.
and YouTubers are so real. Like you could literally set up a camera and just talk and people
Mhm.
on YouTube would love it. But on Instagram, it's like, can I get a filter, please?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
really? I need a curated situation. Like, come on.
Mhm.
So it's a whole different vibe, and you're gonna love it. Like you are truly going to love it, and I'm gonna love watching you. So make sure that you post.
Yes, right.
You
That's the
got the pillars, right?
next.
And obviously, we're gonna keep the process going and talk about how do we get your content found by people who don't know who you are. And I think
Mhm.
that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that if you utilize the right tools, you can push your content in front of people who are complete strangers. And that's another way that you can grow on YouTube. So, like we're just getting started, but I mean, and now you've got, especially with ManyChat, you already have that set up. So you can use that for
Right.
whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like possibilities are endless. So I'm just like, I'm just so excited for you. I really am. I genuinely am. And I'm so grateful that you took the time out to come and to share. It looks like everyone here has really loved hearing what you had to say. And so I definitely want to make sure that you keep showing up and keep thriving on this platform because it's just the beginning. So I'm going to put your link in a little pop up just in
Mhm.
case our comments go away after this is over. And it will live as a replay on my channel. So you're definitely welcome to refer people to it. And guys, right now, you should know this if you're part of the Bootstrap fam, but I am utilizing StreamYard to stream right now. And that's what's giving us all these different options. I'm the one like operating this stuff behind the scenes. There's no like man behind the curtain. It's just a black girl clicking. So you can do it. I'm doing it. And I absolutely love using StreamYard because it gives me so much flexibility to bring on guests, to screen share, to make little graphics and everything. And it just, I mean, you went live with me on Instagram. And so now you're
Mhm.
going live with me on YouTube. And like, it's a whole different vibe, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, you're pushing the buttons, but it looks like a professional, like, live stream. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you have something to say live, come to YouTube. Like, no playing games on Instagram. It's because the thing about it is too, is it's a better experience for people rewatching it as well. This is
Yeah,
going to
that's
turn into
true.
a normal YouTube video. People can share the link. You could put it in a blog post. You could share it to LinkedIn. I probably will share it to LinkedIn actually. And so there's just a lot you can do with it. So just as another, tidbit, friends, when you do a live stream on YouTube, um, you are able to take part in those views even after the live stream's over. So whoever showed up and watched this live, when we end the broadcast, it will show as views on the YouTube content. And then I can actually turn on monetization on my live stream recordings. So I can continue to make passive income even going live. And so for some of you, this might be a way for you to make your content. If you don't have an editor, if you are overwhelmed, by the idea of setting up a camera and doing all the things, you could literally live stream it. And technically, you don't even have to push it out. You can actually do a local recording if you want to, but you can live stream it to create your content in StreamYard. And then now you have a video on your channel. Now, it's not going to push it out the same way it does a video that you just upload. And so you could benefit from recording it in StreamYard and re-uploading it. But I think this is a game changer for a lot of you who are used to Zoom calls, right? It's kind of like a glorified Zoom webinar situation, right? And so that could be a good gateway if you've got a good, camera in your laptop. You could literally get your StreamYard, membership, and that gets you started, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that some folks ain't telling you guys, that I'm like, it's not as hard as you think. I think Instagram's harder. I truly do. And so I just want to keep you guys in the know. I do have a very funny page on my website for you to join the Bootstrap Club. And the Bootstrap Club is just what I call my newsletter. I like to share a lot, but just certain things I should never post on Instagram. And so that gives me like a place to do that. And so let me see. Oh yeah, cool. I've never done it with two people, but apparently you can. So this is my website. If you guys go to LaShondaBrown.com/join the club, you'll see that I say some things never make it to Instagram. For that small biz realness, join the club. And so this is my email list. So every week I am going to email you guys about a marketing strategy, some deals that I know about so you can save some money, some upcoming live streams. And so it's my way of making sure you don't have to be on Instagram every day to know what I'm doing, because I don't want to be on Instagram every day. I'm not about that life. So this is the best way for you to stay in the know about what I'm doing. And like I said, it's just LaShondaBrown.com/join the club. If you go to LaShondaBrown.com, the button in the top right-hand corner says join my free biz community. And that's another way to get to it. So that's always there. And so I want you guys to know that, again, even if you are not a coaching client, you're sort of going to be coached by me. A lot of people say, like, you give away a lot of information for free. And it's the truth. Like, I can do that because the tech companies are providing me with enough income that I'm good. Everything you guys do is just icing on the cake. I think the last thing I want to tell you guys about, and it's something that I think you should set it up too, actually. Add some more homework to your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. One more thing. Let me go to buy me a coffee. So friends, I am up to 189 supporters on Buy Me a Coffee, which is nuts. But Buy Me a Coffee is a way that you can get fan support from your supporters. What I like about this in comparison to a Patreon situation or creating your own type of tip jar or whatever is it's so simple. Like, simple is going to be the key to conversions because people are so busy. No one has time. Okay. So people can go in and they can buy me a coffee. They can buy 1, 3, or 5, or type in a number. A coffee is $5. And so that's something that goes into my tip jar. But the newest thing that I did was I discovered that they had memberships. And so the membership is a game changer because it allows you to do a recurring subscription with the people who are super engaged. So the way that I like to do it is I typically will do a workshop every month for $10. And so for the people who are like, girl, I'm signing up for all your workshops anyway, I'm like, let me make your life easier. You can become a star student for $10 a month, right? And before I put a new workshop in my shop, I send all of my star students a ticket to the workshop. So they don't have to go in and every single time go in and register. They already know they're going to be in the room. The other thing that I like about doing this way is I limit my workshops to 50 people because I want to make sure I have time to answer their questions. So all of my star students get their tickets first, and whatever is left goes to the public. And
Mm.
so eventually this will grow to the point where I may never need to publicly market my workshops because I just know I'm good. Um, and so that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in is like, okay, how can I generate passive income from the people who really are invested in my brand, want to learn from me? And so this could be a gateway into educating your audience without doing a full blown course.
Right.
Because I think people are being, I'm not saying they're not being honest, but they're not being realistic about the amount of effort it takes to create a course.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so my workshops are just Zoom webinars. And to be honest with you, technically you can do a webinar in StreamYard. I just haven't tested it yet. And so if that works out, I may end up doing that instead because I really do like this platform. But ultimately, that's all I'm doing. It's a monthly webinar on Zoom, $10 a seat, limited to 50 students. And that's a really nice pace for me. The chat isn't overwhelming and people get their questions answered. So they walk away with value. And it doesn't put pressure on me to have to like provide customer service for a course
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
come up with all that material. And it also allows me to be like responsive to what's happening in marketing in that moment versus I made a course a year ago and now it's irrelevant because XYZ has changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so buy me a coffee is free. If you guys use my link, LaShondaBrown.com/buy me a coffee, buy me a coffee actually sends me $5. Which, you know, I'd love it if you did that, but you don't have to. I'll put all these links in the description when this is over. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm learning and I'm sharing with my coaching clients because all those little ways of, you know, work less, live more will help people to joyfully create their content, to joyfully market their business versus being so burnt out that they just stop. And that was one of the things that we talked about was just like ultimately you were just tired. You know,
Yeah.
the joy of creating was gone. And so it was just like I don't want to post versus now that you've got people wanting to hear from you and wanting to see what you're doing. I'm sure it's a lot more exciting now than before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think something you said to me on the call stuck with me. You said, when a creator is not creating, something is wrong. You know, like there's something that we need to fix. And that was like just something that stuck with me because I'm like, that's so true. Like that's what I love to do is to create. I love to make things. I love to share. And for so long I had this love for it. And then it became this work, this overwhelming thing that I couldn't get to. And so um I didn't realize how much strategy and processes and automation was going to free up my mental load so that I can just create and be, and free in that again. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course. Honestly, I need to like use Otter more to transcribe my calls because I'm not going to watch them back, but like I could just generate so much content just quoting stuff I say in meetings.
Right.
You know, I'm like, why don't I do that? Ah, I'm like, you're so right. I'm like, that's a whole carousel post. Like, if a
Yep,
creator
it
is
is.
shooting, something's wrong. You know, something's
Yep.
wrong. And it's like we accept so many things that are not normal or not okay or are just I heard somebody say this on a podcast. I think it was Hope Taylor. She was like, "Oh, that's my check engine light." You know,
Mm.
this thing
Yeah.
happened and it's like that's my alert that something's not quite right. Like I can still
Mhm.
function, but something is off and I need to take it seriously. And so for you, not creating as someone who is paid to create is a
Mhm.
check engine light moment. Like something's off. And we don't need to treat it like, ah, well, you know, we'll just stop creating. It's fine. It's like,
Right.
no, there's clearly something to miss and we need to address it. So I'm really glad that that resonated with you because you do have so much to offer. You're so good at what you do. And the idea of you sitting on the bench just because of a lack of strategy or systems is just not cool. like now.
Right.
We need you.
Yes.
We need you, girl. So I fully expect to be able to shop the shop soon. Do we know when we're coming back? Do we have an update? What's going on?
Yeah, so it'll likely at the end of this month because I am right in smack dab in the middle of working on some new books. So I'm working on a book for women around creativity and the intersection of that with your faith and kind of following your God given gifts. And then I'm also working on a coloring book. So right now I am just like really swamped in that. But the shop did open up for a short time a couple weeks ago, but it'll be opening up again towards the end of June. So look out for that. You can still get shop my products on my Happy Planner is available on the Happy Planner website, Amazon. You can still shop all of my journals and my children's book through my website, Target, Amazon, etc. So I do have those links on the shop page. So
Okay,
um,
awesome.
mhm.
I love that. Y'all, please buy all the things. Like, just follow her. I'm telling you, she's about to blow up, so we can all say, "I remember when." So
Right.
I'm so glad you were here. I am going. I cannot believe it's been an hour. This was so encouraging to my heart because I'm like, yeah, like this is the value of being honest about who you can help and who's not a good fit. Because this is just pure joy. Like this is such a good fit, and I just feel like I can't wait to see what other stuff we're gonna do together. Like I like this is like, yeah, okay, we'll do YouTube.
Right. This is
Like,
the
what's
start.
next? Right? What we doing for Christmas? Like,
Right.
it's like I'm like, oh my gosh, the possibilities. I'm just so freaking grateful to know you. Like you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm not coming to Minnesota in the winter. You know that.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, don't come here. Don't come over here.
I'm not gonna do that. You guys have a very narrow window of time where you're like bearable. Um,
Yeah,
so
summer
well,
and fall.
maybe you can come to me.
Right.
You can
I'm like,
come here.
summer and fall here. Otherwise, don't come.
Yeah, you can come here, planes go both ways.
Right.
But I'm excited. I'm excited, friends. So guys,
Oh,
don't forget, go find her on Instagram and follow her there. Go to YouTube, follow her there. All the links are going to be in the description when this is over. But I am going to pull up our outro and say the phrase. You know it well, friends. Until next time, ta-ta for now.